Have you ever thought about the meaning of life? Arthur Schopenhauer once said, "Life is a constant process of dying." This statement, profound and somewhat unsettling, invites us to contemplate our existence. Life, in its grandeur and complexity, is characterized by constant change. Each new day brings with it new experiences, new challenges, and new opportunities. These changes, however, also signify an end to what was, a form of dying. The child within us dies as we grow into adulthood. The ignorance within us dies as we gather wisdom. The fear within us dies as we embrace courage. It's a ceaseless cycle of evolution and transformation, of dying and being reborn anew. This is the beauty of life's constant process. It's not about mourning the death of what was, but celebrating the birth of what is to come. This quote reminds us to embrace the process of life, accepting change as a natural part of our existence. Schopenhauer also identified the two enemies of human happiness as pain and boredom. Pain, in its many forms, whether physical or emotional, can cloud our perception of joy, making it harder to appreciate the beauty of life. On the other hand, boredom, the seemingly benign enemy, creeps in when we fail to find meaning or engagement in our daily activities. It's a silent happiness thief that can lead to a sense of emptiness or dissatisfaction. Overcoming these enemies is not about avoiding pain or seeking constant entertainment. Instead, it's about learning to face pain with resilience, understanding that it's a part of our human experience. It's about finding meaning in our lives, which can transform mundane tasks into fulfilling activities. As we navigate through the highs and lows of life, we must remember that overcoming pain and finding meaning in the mundane are not just about surviving, but thriving. Overcoming pain and finding meaning in the mundane can lead us to true happiness. Schopenhauer once compared wealth and fame to seawater, saying, "The more we drink, the thirstier we become." This brilliant metaphor encapsulates the insatiable nature of wealth and fame. Just like the salty seawater, the more we consume, the more we desire. And this constant thirst, this ceaseless longing, often leads to dissatisfaction and discontentment. Wealth and fame are elusive, always just out of reach, no matter how much we obtain. They're like mirages in the desert, promising satisfaction, but delivering only thirst. They create an illusion of happiness, but beneath that shimmering surface, they often leave us feeling emptier than before. The pursuit of wealth and fame can become a never-ending cycle, a loop of constant striving and yearning with no real fulfillment. Schopenhauer's wisdom reminds us to break free from this cycle. We must remember that true satisfaction comes not from wealth or fame, but from inner peace and contentment. Schopenhauer distinguished between talent and genius, stating, "Talent hits a target no one else can hit, genius hits a target no one else can see." His perspective offers a profound insight into the human potential. Talent, in this context, is an exceptional ability to accomplish tasks that others find challenging. It's like a well-aimed arrow hitting a visible target with precision. On the other hand, genius, according to Schopenhauer, is an extraordinary ability to perceive and act upon realities that remain invisible to others. It's like an arrow hitting a target that isn't even visible to the archer's eye. It's about intuition, imagination, and the courage to venture into the unknown. In essence, Schopenhauer's quote urges us to realize that we all possess unique abilities. Whether it's a talent that allows us to excel in certain areas or a genius that lets us perceive what others cannot, we all have something special within us. And we should strive not just to hit targets that others can see, but to find and hit the targets that no one else can. Schopenhauer believed in the power of will, but also its limitations, saying, "Man can do what he wills, but he cannot will what he wills." This profound statement suggests that while we may have the ability to act as we wish, we are unable to dictate our own desires. Picture an athlete training for a marathon. They can choose to run every day, to push through the pain, the exhaustion. That's the power of will, but they can't decide to love the process, to crave the burn in their muscles or the early morning wake-up calls. Those are inherent desires, things we cannot control. Our willpower can drive us to incredible feats, to overcome obstacles and achieve our goals, but our inherent desires and limitations are equally powerful. They shape our passions, our motivations, our very identity. So, while we have the power to act, it is equally important to understand and accept our inherent desires and limitations. We must balance the strength of our will with the acceptance of ourselves. Schopenhauer warned us about the folly of sacrificing health for other types of happiness. This sentiment rings truer today than ever before. Health, in its broadest sense, is not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. It's the total state of physical, mental, and social well-being. It's the very foundation upon which we build our lives. Yet often, in the pursuit of wealth, fame, or even intellectual satisfaction, we neglect our health. We push our bodies to the limit, neglect our mental well-being, and disregard the importance of a balanced life. Schopenhauer, with his characteristic wisdom, reminds us that this is the greatest of follies. The joy, success, or satisfaction we might derive from other aspects of life are meaningless without health. It's the one thing that cannot be replaced, bought, or earned back once lost. So, as we navigate the complex paths of life, we must always remember to prioritize our health above all else. According to Schopenhauer, compassion is the basis of morality. This profound statement underscores the pivotal role that empathy plays in our ethical decisions. Compassion, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, isn't merely a virtue. It's the bedrock of moral judgment. It's the bridge that connects us to other beings, enabling us to perceive their pain, their joy, their hopes and fears. Through this shared understanding, we can make moral choices that respect and uphold the well-being of others. Schopenhauer's philosophy invites us to see compassion not as an optional attribute, but as an essential component of our moral fabric. It challenges us to be more than just fair or just. It calls us to be empathetic, to feel with others, and to act from a place of shared understanding. So, let us strive to be compassionate in all our dealings.